Welcome to the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks. We're Jim and Joe, lifelong friends, lifelong fans, bringing you fan-driven sports talk the way real fans do. No overpaid experts, no scripted analysis, just honest takes on the games, players, and the big stories shaping sports right now.
And we want you to be a part of it too. Drop your comments, questions, and takes. We'll read them all and bring them into future shows. So please hit like, subscribe. We appreciate you. And join the conversation every week for free on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen. Hey, Joe, did we just realize today is our 13th episode?
Well, we realized it, but we weren't going to say it out loud.
Oh, okay. Can we rewind, edit this back a little bit?
No, we can't because it costs money every minute. We're paying about I don't know. It's like $300 a minute or something. What? It's worth it though to get, sports talk the way real fans talk. No scripted analysis. But I did want to start off. It is the 13th episode, and we appreciate all the comments out there, the subscribers. Thank you very much. Again, we're all ears as well. We're not just all eyes reading your comments. We're all ears listening or reading your comments, because if you got suggestions to the show, hey guys, pick it up a notch or talk more about this or that, we're happy to do that. I do want to start off this show with a little bit of a somber mood because of the news today about Marshawn Kneeland for the Dallas Cowboys. The tragedy to the Cowboys today. Prayers to the family and friends of the player, second round pick last year, 24 years old. That's it's just very disappointing news to hear. Having said that, yep. So we'll let's talk about a couple of records in the world of sports. Well, in the world of stats, you look at some stats like in baseball. I was reading stats that didn't start until 2008, keeping track, blah blah blah. Well, some stats they keep track of pretty much day one the sport began, such as goals in hockey. This isn't like how many times a player tripped on the way to the penalty box. We just started keeping that stat 4 years ago. This is goals.
How many teeth he lost.
How many teeth they lost and couldn't find. Right. This is not that kind of stat. These are unbelievable stats when you look at Alex Ovechkin scoring his 900th goal. That's 900. Does not include postseason or exhibition. It's a 900 regular season goals. Unbelievable. I'm not going to say he's an overlooked player. If you're a hockey player, if you're a hockey fan, he is. I mean, even the casual hockey fan knows who he is. But congratulations to Alex, because that's quite the feat. Passing Wayne Gretzky, who had 894. So
yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Salute to Alex. Yes. Well done.
Well done, Alex, especially in a sport where, just being physically healthy for that long of a career is probably the biggest challenge. Forget the talent on the ice. Just staying on the ice is probably a bigger challenge than anything. I will throw this before we move on, though. Wayne Gretzky, household name, even if you don't even know what hockey is, still holds the all-time goal record, including the postseason, at 1,016. Perspective, if Ovechkin wants to hit that record, he's got 977, including postseason. So he still has about 39-ish postseason goals to go to catch that one. Woo!
And that's why they call Wayne Gretzky the Great One.
That's a good point. Yeah, good point.
Yep. Alex Ovechkin might the great other one.
You know what? Will he ever be the great? He can't be the great one. You're right. He'd have to be the great other one. And it's not the great one. It's the great one. Exactly. Yeah. I like it. Yep. I like it a lot. That was a very great record to see, fall. I'm sure not if, Wayne Gretzky lost the record a while back, but no one's gotten to 9,000. Now in the NBA, we're looking at another, what I would consider a pretty tough record to break, and that is Alexander's record with 20-point games 80 in a row. 80.
The OKC Thunder. What a magic player.
Wait. He's on Orlando?
Wait. I meant what a magical player. My bad.
Thank you.
Good cat.
Yeah. No, well, I'm not an expert, but I do catch some things like that. No, but it really so Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just hit the 80 20-point games in a row. He passed Oscar Robinson, the big O. Now he doesn't hold the all-time record because he's going to have to get another 12 to break Wilt Chamberlain's record of 92 20-point games in a row. If he does that, he'll still only be in second place because he'd have to catch Wilt Chamberlain again with 126 20-point games in a row. It is wow.
Great trivia for people out there. Guess which two teams Chamberlain set those two separate records were. And we'll see. We've got prizes.
No
for you if you
Googling.
can guess those two
Nope.
teams.
No Googling. This is like trivia in a bar. It's honor system. If you don't know it, just fine. You can probably guess. I think we got like an East Coast, West Coast thing going there, maybe.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that would be a good trivia question. But anyway, it does put into perspective how good Wilt is. But think about it. Hey, different time, different era, different blah, blah, blah. For Alexander to be doing that in today's NBA game is quite a feat. So congrats to them. And the Thunder look great, by the way.
Yeah.
So what else do we have on the agenda? So it is not golf season. It is the winter break. They're going to play in Dubai, I'm sure. And then, of course, before we know it, we wake up, the Christmas tree needs to come down, and the Sony Open in Hawaii is playing, if they still call it that. But there is still some golf news. The LIV Golf League is officially changing their format, going from 54 holes tournaments to 72. Now, two questions to mind. The biggest question everyone has is LIV, L-I-V, was named for its 54-hole format. The Roman numeral 54 is L-I-V. Does this affect their name? Are they going to have to change their name to the Roman numeral 72, which I don't know what that is?
We'll create a trivia question, and somebody will tell us the answer.
Okay. That sounds good. Or someone can contribute a recommended name if they do want to change it. I will say this: Roman numerals, I think I've heard they're making a comeback into the mainstream, and I, for one, have no problem with that.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Thank
you. In all seriousness, I think LIV is changing it to the 72 format for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're not recognized for any world golf rankings, so their players can't qualify for FedEx Cup and all that by playing in LIV golf tournaments. And I think that's one step more to, look the same, at least to, people. And number two, it's still a shotgun start. One thing I like about LIV Golf, and I love golf. I play once or twice a week, every week for years. I love golf. I love the history. I love the PGA. You can argue, is LIV ruining some of the tradition, all that? I don't know. I like some things about LIV. One of the things is, if you're watching a golf tournament all day, the PGA tees off at 8 a.m. and the winner, the leaders will come in and finish, at nightfall. LIV is a shotgun start. So it is a 4.5 hour window because they all start at the same time and finish at the same time. It does add some, controversy. Hey, I started on hole number 5. That's the toughest hole. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of a nice thing about LIV. You can watch it in a football game, baseball game kind of window. So that's a nice feature of LIV.
I like that too.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're definitely trying to, get closer to being able to figure something out where they can recognize both. I don't think the PGA will ever do it voluntarily, but anyways, we'll see. And then finally, for us football fans who, either had to pay $20 to watch Monday Night Football last week or just missed it altogether, missed a great game by the Phoenix Cardinals or Arizona Cardinals. YouTube TV and Disney have still not come to an agreement. So, let the big wallet people work it out. I was reading that Alphabet, who owns YouTube TV, is formerly Google, is worth I don't know $2 trillion on paper, and Disney's in the 300 billion range. So they both have a little cash to wait it out a little bit. Interesting. I'll close with this. Philadelphia last Monday night game, Arizona Dallas on paper. Maybe if I miss it, but this Monday's Green Bay and Philadelphia. So rumor is NFL is going to start putting a little more pressure for these two to work it out, because the NFL is also a big boy when it comes to the wallet size. So we'll see if the NFL has any pull or push in getting this done.
I'm glad tonight's game's on Prime so I can watch your Raiders upset the Broncos, okay?
Whoa. What did you just say? You broke up.
Because breaking up is hard to do.
Yeah, well.
Let the Raiders beat the Broncos tonight. I would love it.
Well, I would love it for reasons, because I'm a Raiders fan. The Raiders have been so bad that they're forcing me to drink. Matter of fact, I went to my doctor. He says, you've got to stop drinking so much. I said, how do you know I'm drinking too much? He goes, well, I don't know, but there was 2 olives and a swizzle stick in your urine sample. So that might have been a dead giveaway, but I defended myself by saying I was a Raiders fan, and he completely understood. Matter of fact, we went to the local bar right then. But we're not picking that game. We're going to pick other games. But before we get to the NFL, we do have some college games that are worthy of talking about and picking. So what do you got?
They are worthy. BYU ranked 8th in the country. I'll have more on that in just a second. At number 9, Texas Tech. There's talk because the college game day will be in Lubbock, Texas for that one. It happens to be a Kansas City Chiefs bye week, and there's talk that the guest picker, even though they're not having a great season, he's not
Taylor Swift.
No, she had a previous engagement she has to go to. Patrick Mahomes is rumored to be the guest picker. So, this is an 8 versus 9. And this is where I wanted to go back to the point about BYU. Who have they really played and dominated? Okay, Portland State. They beat them 69-0. BYU, yes, they're a good football team. They're well coached, great athletes and everything. But I'm not convinced that they have really played a great schedule. They only beat Colorado by a field goal. And you talked about Colorado in the last show. They're a wreck.
And we're not talking about Georgia Tech.
No, not the Rambling Wreck, buddy.
No, we're talking about like the Rambling Wreck got in a wreck.
Yeah, there you go. That's well put. I like that.
Well,
yeah, the Buffaloes they're not good.
Yes.
But Texas Tech, and I'll just finish up talking about that ball game. And I do want to know what you think about BYU this year and Texas Tech. Should I just go ahead and do a pick real quick? I will.
Unless you think my pick might, sway your opinion. So I don't know if you want to hear mine first. You want to hear mine first, or you want to pick? I got my pen ready right here.
I want to hear your pick first.
Well, here's what I have to say about it, because I was just considering, right. I mean, BYU, are they good? I don't know. And again, sometimes you look at things and maybe it's because of who they've played, but they're giving up just 16.2 points a game. So we always think of BYU. I always think of BYU as, just kind of a run and gun type of throwing all over the place kind of a team. And they have a good offense, but they're also only giving up 16 a game. And I'll be honest with you, that's a pretty good defense no matter who you've played. But Tech's offense, 7.3 yards a play. So,
yeah,
kind of like a little bit, sounds weird saying this with BYU being the strength of a defense, but, it's strength versus strength. So, On offense, BYU's converted 93% of red zone trips into points. I'm going with BYU in this one.
Okay. And take away BYU's impressive win by a field goal over Utah. They are impressive, but I'm going to take Texas Tech at home in that one because Patrick Mahomes will be there as the guest picker. That's why.
That's a good guess picker. There's one more thing. If this game was at BYU, I would even be more confident that Texas Tech would lose because we all know that BYU is in Utah, and in Utah, there's more men there.
Another.
Thank you. More men there. Yes.
He'll
Okay.
be here all week, folks.
All right. I got you down. By the way, if I look away, it's not being rude. I'm writing down our scores. I'm literally writing it down in like a ledger so I can pull this out 20 years from now and show you that you're up about 15-6. Okay. So what you got next?
Texas A&M ranked third at number 19, Missouri. What you think?
Well, Missouri is 5-0 at home. I think everyone kind of knows that. We're not experts, and I'm not a stats guy. By the way, if I throw out stats, they're like legit one stat thing. It's not like on third down and 5.5 yards to go. Listen, they're like big stats. So 5-0 at home is something to not sneeze at. Plus Brady Cook, 0 INTs. I wish the Miami quarterback could say that. At home. And however, this is another strength versus strength thing. The Aggies lead the SEC with 3.6 sacks per game. So will Brady have enough time?
Don't really think so. And Texas A&M is really, really that good. This is, if you really think about it, this is a really tough game to pick.
Yeah,
Got two very good defenses.
I
And
agree.
is this a trap game for A&M? Should they be on upset alert?
I mean, listen, when November 1st hits the calendar, every team's on upset alert. No team is 100% healthy. And with the transfer portal, no team is 100% deep. All those second and third stringers that you used to be able to throw off the bench that were pretty good are playing for somebody else now. So the last 4 or 5 games of the year, upsets always happened before anyways, but now they're even, more possible because of, those kinds of factors, plus the weather, who knows? I think if A&M rushes for 150 yards or more, I think they win. I know it's at Missouri. I can't believe I'm picking another road team, but I am picking the Texas A&M Aggies to win this game.
Yeah, that's I'm going to pick Missouri at home because I think they're going to rally around Eli Drinkwitz. We're going to do a little mention about something else in the news for him in a few moments, but I'm going to take the Missouri Tigers. They have only lost 2 games. I'm sorry, not that's. They've only lost a couple of tough games this year to Alabama. So I'm gonna take Missouri at home. I think the Tigers pull off the upset.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what the line is, but I'm not even sure it'd be a big upset with Missouri being home. But yeah, okay, that's a good pick. Nothing wrong with that pick. And to know what's next.
And then we have the Oregon Ducks
Mm.
traveling right in the Midwest there to Kinnick Stadium to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Oregon's ranked 6th, Iowa's ranked 22nd.
Yeah,
Will Iowa defend that home turf that they're known to do?
I don't know because if I did, I would be rich. But I think that this is not. I'm not comparing it to the BYU game because Oregon averages. I mean, believe it or not, they average close to 50 a game. Again, who have they played defensively and all that? But they average 49 yards per game, points per game. 49 yards. They wouldn't be very good. 49 points per game. Iowa defense, however, just allowing 8, so under 13. It's the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. think
Yeah.
I would love to see Iowa win this game. It would help me as a Miami fan, ranked 18th in the CFP, which we're going to talk about. But I need
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things to happen. One of these would be for Oregon to stumble. This would be a game for me that would be great for them to stumble. Those last 14 games have gone under. You know what that means? They keep it low scoring, clock management. So that's what they'll need to do. I'm going with. Am I going with my head or my wallet? My brain or I mean my heart or my wallet? I'm going to go with my heart and say Iowa.
I like it. I'm going to say Iowa as well
You
because
are
I really
okay.
have a feeling they will defend that home turf.
I would love it. I
Yes,
would
sir.
love to see that.
Yes, sir. I
Good.
like it.
Good. Well, I would love to see that. We have to do our usual, customary honorable mentions. Let's start with Florida State Seminoles. Who do they got on the slate? I believe it's Clemson.
Yeah, the other Death Valley.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And I'll just say this
are they
quickly:
still calling it that? I mean,
both teams are surprisingly, well, especially Clemson, surprisingly struggling this year. Let's just call it the hot seat bowl. We'll see what happens.
yeah. Well, one seat's hotter than the other because I don't think Dabo's going anywhere. Not yet, quite yet. But the Death Valley thing. When you say Death Valley now, I only think about LSU. Clemson
Yeah,
doesn't even. I have to kind of go back in time and think about where's the other one because Clemson looks terrible. But you know, hey, listen, it's still an ACC game. I no matter what the records, I still like to see a good game because I remember these games when Tommy Bowden would roll in there and stuff, and they were still good games and worth watching. And I'd rather see Florida State beat Clemson any day of the year than Clemson win against anyone. So I'm good with that. Um, the game I'll be keeping one eye on, I'm calling it my pirate game because I'm only going to watch it with one eye, is Miami, my beloved Hurricanes against the Syracuse Orange. Syracuse, boy, they started out the year great. Their quarterback went down, popped his Achilles, and I mean, wow, it's hard to believe that they were, pretty good. And then I know the quarterback's everything to some teams, but boy, they sure are proving that because they look terrible. So they trot out onto the field against North Carolina, who's horrible, and they get killed because Syracuse trots out a walk-on lacrosse player for quarterback. They've got two other quarterbacks that are actually on the team for being a quarterback, like scholarship players. They have two. One is the next guy up, but they don't want to burn him out. He's played in 3 games. He only gets one more. They don't want to lose his red shirt. They've got 3 games left, so they're trying to figure out where they play him in his last game. Their last game is against Boston College. I doubt they pull him out against Miami in that front four. So I think it'll be the walk-on lacrosse player again. Miami's favored by 28 or something like that. I think we win 41-3. Listen, it's Syracuse, but we need a get-right game. So hopefully this is it.
yeah. I
Um,
would imagine you should handle Syracuse.
well, we need to win out with our 4. We got to win. And by the way, we can't just win. We got to look as good winning as we do losing. 12 penalties, 2 picks, 4 picks, 9 penalties in our 2 losses. We've got to win like 41-0 just to get the CFP committee's attention again, win our last 4, move up to number 10 maybe, and a lot of stuff's got to happen. I know. Joe, wow, what an optimist. Yeah. So let's move on to the CFP real quick before we go to the NFL. What you got on the CFP? I know we were talking about it. Boy, you were making some really interesting points.
Going back to, as I mentioned, we would talk about Eli Drinkwitz, going back to his comments that, and being a Seminoles fan after the snub a couple of years ago, this really rings true to my heart. The CFP needs to do away with the selection committee. Ohio State and Indiana, their strength of schedule this year is in the 30s, the mid 30s. He doesn't see any change this year from any other year. And he also said that, you got Texas A&M number 3. They've had a tougher, schedule, but it's the game needs to be decided on the field. That's
Yeah,
it.
well, that's a good quote. I mean, with 134 teams, I think, if I'm wrong, I'm not an expert, but it's hard to decide on the field because everyone doesn't play everyone. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously they're obviously rewarding. It looks like they're rewarding, not having a bad loss like to a Northern Illinois, to winning a great win or a very good win. That there's probably arguments on both sides. What I don't like is a couple things. You can argue, is Indiana and AM, A&M should be better than Indiana because of the strength of schedule and all that. The strength of schedule should matter, but you got a lot
Yes.
of two-loss teams right now that are, you know, listen. Everyone knows I'm a Miami fan. Everyone knows I'm going to go right to the Notre Dame thing. We beat them head to head. We lost to Louisville, ranked. We lost to SMU. Okay, bad losses. The way we lost were horrible, but Notre Dame's loss was to us head to head. Listen, an A&M to be 8 spots ahead of Miami, same record, lost head to head. That's just mind boggling to me. And I know Notre Dame gets a little favoritism, and if you're a Notre Dame fan out there, you do, so don't say anything. But I don't know. The rest of it we'll see. I can see where, look at that. Georgia had to be ranked right behind Alabama because of a head to head. Well, I get it. Okay. Those kind of things. Texas and Oklahoma. Oh, Texas had to be ahead of Oklahoma because of head to head. But there's no consistent pattern. I don't know how you fix it. It's voting. So while they have a committee now, and this is gospel now, what's the difference? Now you're still voting. So
And to enhance your point, the ACC, per Rick Neuheisel, gets no respect in the CFP rankings. It's so much perception. Is there any other college football sport that has a selection committee? No.
no. Well, yes, college basketball. I mean, but to be honest, they're taking 68 teams. I mean, if you're number 69, I mean, no offense, but you should have been 68. But when you only have 12, there's a lot of teams outside of 12.
They don't, right, but they don't pick all the teams, sort of the way the selection committee does with this top 12 who's going to the playoffs.
True, good point. Well,
A lot of
conference,
those,
you got conference winners and all that automatically and all that. Yeah, but
right.
it's still a selection, committee. But ESPN is
Yeah.
heavily involved in all that stuff too. Hey, listen, you've got Virginia. Doesn't I know Virginia? Man, my God, they win every game in overtime. I know. You got Virginia, Louisville, and Georgia Tech, all with one loss, and they are behind, five other teams, four other teams with two losses. So there's, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. It's all perception. Um, I'm going to read this off, and if any of these 12 people, hear this podcast, I hope you subscribe. But this is just not to make a point, because I wouldn't know every athletic director in this country, and I wouldn't know every ex-head coach in this country, and I wouldn't know every sports writer or former players for that matter. But here's the committee, just for fun. See how many names you recognize. You don't have to yell them out, because I recognize about three. Chris Alt, Troy Dannon, Mark D'Antonio, Jeff Long, Ivan Mazel, Chris Massero, Mac Rhodes, Mike Riley, David Saylor, Wesley Walls, Carla Williams, Hunter Yurachek. That's the CFP playoff committee. My understanding is there's only one former player and one sports writer. So everybody else is a former coach or athletic director. And no offense, I don't care who you are. If I was on a jury right now, I would go out of my way to be as non-biased as possible. Even if the defendant had a Miami Hurricane shirt on, or an Ohio State shirt on, no offense, Buckeyes, I'd still try to be as best I can non-biased. But it'd be hard. But if I'm picking college football teams, not nearly life and death, I'd still try to be non-biased. But let's face it, it's impossible, because you went to one of those schools. You were the AD for them, or you were the head coach for them, or something. Get a committee. I'm not saying go back to the Condoleezza Rice days, but how many of these people are actually watching every game and dissecting, how teams win? Or I don't know. Don't get me started. It's not even coffee break.
Easy, Joe. Easy. Don't get started. We don't want you to get
If I
started.
was number
It is
14, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm number 18. But no, listen, in all seriousness, we deserve that. But no, it's got to be fixed. I know there's always going to be complaining team 13, back when there was only 4, team 5. It's getting
that's
better, maybe.
that's where I was just going. Is this really any different every year from when we were kids growing up in Miami, playing in the backyard, and it was the top ranked Hurricanes are taking on the number 4 AP ranked Seminoles, and we'd have it our imaginary game, and then we get an argument. Well, why is Miami number 1? We should be number 1. It's never going to end. There's going to be argument every single year, even if they go to a 16-team playoff.
Always has been. Although I did read some sports writer. I think it was somebody who wrote a very nice article about all this. He said this, and it stuck with me. It was a question, and he said, back in the old days, when you had the AP and the different polls, and losing one game
Coaches.
was critical and all that. The regular season was like, oh my God, nail biter, one loss might have done it. Miami FSU proved that many years. And the question
Many times.
was, as adding 12 teams, which should be a better thing than 4 or the old days, is the 12-team playoff. Now, has that even made the regular season even more interesting in the sense of watching all this stuff going on, trying to get in the top 12, and then when the playoffs come along, is it kind of like anticlimactic? All right, now they play each other. Maybe that's because some teams don't belong in there and they show it by getting killed or something like that. I don't know. There's no perfect way to fix it, as long as it's limited. But, until every team plays each other, even in other pro sports and stuff, you don't always play each other or have a chance to go head-to-head more than once or not at all in some cases. So you're still playing like a division where, but you're earning it somehow. It's clear to see who earned it. College isn't like that. And, we'll have to see what happens. And by the way, there's 4 weeks to go. A lot can happen. So that current list won't be the same. All right.
And it's fun. It is fun.
It's fun. I mean, we're talking about it, and it's frustrating. It is, even when I'm out of it, like years past. I mean, it's still fun to watch the other. It does make some games in the regular season still very important, especially for bubble teams. So we don't have a lot of time left. So here's what I think we should do. We should go to the NFL, and we should pick our 3 games that we've highlighted. And let's pick them, one reason why, and let's do that.
That sounds good, Joe. I can follow you. All right, we got the AFC leaders, the 7-2 Patriots taking on the 6-2 Bucks. I'll allow you to do your pick first on this one.
I love the way Tampa Bay is playing. I like the way they are playing at home. I am concerned about their rushing in the red zone. They've only got like 1 TD in the last 4 games. Patriots only give up 75 yards a game, but I am really looking forward to the quarterback matchup with May and Mayfield. So one of them is going to be better, and I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
You're going with the Curtis Mayfields? Okay.
Curtis Mayfield.
Then I'll just go opposite. I'm going to take the Patriots. They're hot, man. 6-game win streak. Try to stop me.
I hope they can. I hope Tampa Bay can, because, hey, listen, I'm still a Dolphins fan. It's hard for me to root for the Patriots. I know you're not rooting for them. You're betting with your wallet. That's respectable.
There you go.
Hey, listen, the presidents and others on dollar bills and our currency, they were Patriots. So I get where you're going there. Rams at 49ers, I think, is next. What you got?
Yeah, 6-2 Rams against the 6-3 49ers. And I just hope it comes close to being as exciting and head scratching. And what a great first game they had against each other that somehow miraculously went to overtime. Okay, enough of what I wanted to say about it. I'll throw my pick in there, and then it's your turn. I'm going to take the Rams in this one on the road, and it's simply because revenge is the best motivator.
I think there's another saying for revenge, but that's okay. Is that a formal saying, or do you just make that up? But we'll see. Well, the Rams have given up the fewest sacks per dropback in the NFC. The 49ers lead the league in sacks. You can't make it up. Which one gives?
Wow.
I don't know which one gives, but I think the 49ers might be 10-2 in their last 12 meetings. That may not be true, but I think it's something like that. Um, I think the Rams find a way. I think they're playing well. It's all going to come down to quarterback play. So we'll see. But I am also going with the Rams.
Love it.
Eagles,
Sounds good.
Packers. What game did you call the Eagles Packers? It was the what game?
Oh, the Eagles Packers. The weather is supposed to be very, very cold too. So we've got the frozen Philly cream cheese hats against the frozen cheese heads.
Yes.
It's going to be down in the 20s, feels like. So I guess we just call it the frozen cheese bowl.
The frozen cheese bowl. I love it. And if you replace the OW with an A and an L, it's the frozen cheese ball. And I think I might even eat some I'm going to put some cheese balls in the freezer and eat some during this game. I've never had a frozen cheese ball.
Just be careful. You may have to see the dentist right away the next day. You might break a tooth or two.
True, but I'm not going to use like cheese balls. I'm talking like the cheese puffs, like
Oh, okay.
big jar. I wonder what they'd be like frozen. Don't even talk about
for those
yeah.
Don't try it at home,
No,
folks.
don't try it at home. I don't even like my dentist. My dentist always lectured me about plaque on my teeth, and he's always talking about plaque. Meanwhile, he's got plaques all over his wall. Hypocrite.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The Packers need this game. Well, not more, but they really want to win this game. I think they're just gonna. Jordan Love's got to have a really good game. He's got 115 passer rating in night games, home night games. So that's a good number. He's going to have that number or maybe more to win this game, but I think he will. I'm going with the Packers.
And I would feel terrible. I have my cousin Joanne and her husband Mark are just outside of Lambeau Field. They're just a few miles away in Shawano, Wisconsin.
Yeah, sounds fun.
I gotta go with the frozen cheese heads in this one.
Okay. Well, we're both picking the Packers. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Packers are 5-2-1. The Eagles are 6-2. So, because we talked earlier about that tie on the schedule, they have to win now.
It's ridiculous. I know. No, they got a tie to just even it up.
And a tie is tied to them for the rest of the year, Sorry for the pun.
Yeah, no. It was pretty good. So don't worry. Don't apologize. Well, that's okay.
Thanks.
Well, that's it. We've got some good picks. Good talk about it. I think before we go, in 30 seconds, can you remind me what you were talking to me about the Spurs? Something about your phone was breaking up.
Oh, well, yeah, I've had a couple of buddies call me. They said that right as soon as you mentioned that the Spurs set their own record for the first time in their entire history to go 5-0.
Unbelievable.
Since then, crickets. You jinxed them, Joe.
What do you mean?
Their fault.
What are they now?
They're 5-2.
They've lost 2 in a row since they won 5 in a row to start a season and never have in franchise history? Well, What does that tell you? That tells you that that's all they were trying to achieve this year. Break a big franchise record, and now they're done. They can just coast the rest of the year.
Yeah. It's all about the 5.
You don't have to tell them that there's 175 games, or 75 games left. Oh, but my jinx was worth it because of that 5-0 start. Now they've got approval to build a new downtown arena. So you're welcome.
Okay. And so all they strived to do this whole year was win their first 5 games. Roman numeral V. That's it. V for victory.
Once they got to 3 in a row, they said, "Oh my God, we can do it! Come on!" And they got so pumped to win those next 2 that now they're on a deflated slide. They got to they'll be back, but
they're getting a downtown arena. Okay,
gotcha. That was the main goal. All right, so That's it for this episode of the Undrafted Armchair Quarterbacks with Jim and Joe. Thanks for checking us out and hanging with us for some real fan-driven sports talk.
Please don't forget, your comments are very important to us. Be a part of our show with us. Thank you for coming in and watching or listening. Put your comments in there too. We love reading comments. We'll feature them in our future episodes. So be sure to like, subscribe, and catch us every week right here for free on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen. Good night, Joe. Good night, everybody.
See you, Jim. See you in the game tonight. Take care.
Go Raiders.
Thank you.